Welcome into Lions Postgame Live, where the Lions have just fallen to the now 2-win Washington Redskins, 19-16 here at FedEx Field. I'm Tori Petry alongside Jen Hammond. Jen, this is certainly not how anyone expected this game to go.
Well, I hate to say that I expected it to be close. I definitely thought that the Redskins would keep it close with the Lions. I predicted that there might be some problems for the offense on the road today and for Jeff Driscoll, and just the whole idea of them having to maybe rely more on the run game, which I think they did well in the third quarter. That third quarter was incredible, but
Sure.
The interceptions killed them in the end, and I think ultimately I probably owe a little bit of an apology to the defense, because I thought the defense was terrific today. They put pressure on the Redskins. They took advantage of a beleaguered offense. They held them to 6 second-half points. So they did some good things defensively, and it's a really beat-up crew. I mean, offense and defense, this is a beat-up team.
Certainly. I mean, I joked before this game, you could feel the team with the guys who were injured on the Lions roster today. I mean, you look at it, Matthew Stafford, Tracy Walker, Jamal Agnew, Frank Ragnow, Trey Flowers, Deshaun Hand, and Rashawn Melvin.
Right.
No way I could memorize that whole list.
And TJ Hawkinson even came in as questionable last night.
Sure.
and didn't even see the field today. I mean, so they basically had their inactives listed all but one last night. So they're beat up. But you know what? Every team is beat up this time of year. And one of the things that the Redskins are trying to do is build with their youth and build with their rookies. And some of their rookies did some good things today. Geis ran well at times. The Lions, for the most part, shut their run game down. Haskins was erratic. He missed some really important throws and some things. I mean, if you think about it, the Redskins actually really could have made this a double-digit win in their favor. But the Lions got plenty of pressure on them up front. I mean, I'd like to say that I'm stunned, but not much stuns me anymore and right now. And this team, I feel like the coach putting our best face on this. We're building, we're getting better. Defensively, yes, they were better today, but this is a really porous Redskins team. They've averaged 12 points per game. The Lions allowed them 19 today. And like I said, they held them in the second half. But it's hard to fathom, you know, what really needs to change with this team. For a while there, in that third quarter, I thought the Lions were going to take control of the team.
Sure.
They outgained the Redskins 157 to -3 in that third quarter. We were talking about how impressive it was. Bo Scarborough was running well. They were doing a lot of good things. They were protecting well. And then in the fourth quarter, it just kind of all slipped through their hands.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the Lions looked like a different team coming out of the half. I mean, you mentioned the statistics there. At one point, Jeff Driscoll had more rushing yards than Dwayne Haskins had passing yards, and that third quarter was crucial, but like you said, things fell apart in the fourth quarter, and those turnovers really hurt them today.
The Lions put together 175 yards on the ground compared to 86 for Washington. I mean, that is incredible. We haven't seen
98-yard day
like
for
that.
Bo Scarborough.
Yeah, and it's been great for Driscoll too, and I mean, he really took advantage of his mobility and some of the things that I think the runs that he let get away last week when we were all kind of shouting, tuck it and go, he took advantage of that open space today. But I also think at the really seen Jeff Driscoll in a come-from-behind type of situation where I think Stafford would have been great. Stafford can drive them down, but that's where you learn that you've got your backup quarterback, you don't have your regular main guy, that you're really going to have some problems.
Certainly. I mean, I think that those turnovers were a big part of today's loss today. 4 turnovers for the Lions.
Especially the 2 picks in the fourth quarter.
Exactly, and one of those turnovers turned into points for the Redskins earlier on in the game. But for me, one of the biggest moments of this game was that return touchdown by the Redskins. A huge mistake for the Lions on special teams, that's the Redskins' only touchdown for the day.
And it was really a tough day for special teams. You think about it. First, they missed the field goal from Prater, which they don't do often, and then that return for a touchdown. And then when Marvin Hall fielded that punt at the 2-yard line, they just are still lacking. It seems like one area each game is really letting them down, and they just are mistakes that they cannot seem to overcome. I don't know where their confidence is right now when they dropped to 3-7-1 now. I mean, we almost thought we were going to have to dangle another tie on the end there. That would have been really ugly. But for the most part, it's hard to say where this team is getting better because it's just not consistent enough. 1 quarter of good offense and 1/2 of good defense does not a football team make.
certainly. I mean, this was a tough one for Lions fans, especially heading into the team's traditional Thanksgiving Day game. In just 4 days from now, on Thursday afternoon, taking a loss to the Redskins, giving them their just second win of the season. It's certainly tough for Lions fans.
And it is always, it's really a raw deal in Detroit when by Thanksgiving we're talking about the Lions being out of the playoffs. And now tonight they're a Green Bay win away from that being a possibility. With their loss today and a Green Bay win, they're out of the division. Their probability of making the postseason is 0%. I had a ton of expectations for this team this season going into the year, and I feel kind of duped a little bit, but at the same time, there's been a lot of different things that nobody anticipated, and I think there's going to be a lot of questions about how they can make changes going forward for the rest of the season. Are they going to maybe put Matthew Stafford, put him to bed, shut him down for the season? Who knows? I mean, now that they've lost and that their playoff probability is close to 0, that might be something they're more willing to do. We'll see.
Jen, I know this is a tough question to answer because obviously if the coaches had the answer, we'd be seeing some better games here. But what needs to change as the Lions go forward?
Oh, gosh. I think that they've got to get the pass rush squared away. That's obviously something that everybody's going to look at. I mean, their offense seems to be cranking well. I think Darrell Bevel's done a tremendous job trying to, work with Driscoll and Scarborough. I mean, so Bo Scarborough now joins the elite company of Barry Sanders, Mel Farr, and Billy Sims as the first rookie to have more than 55 yards in their first 2 career games. I mean, it's really incredible what they've been able to do, right? It's incredible what they've been able to do on offense. They've done a lot of it without their rookie tight end, their first overall, their first round pick, and their offensive line has been kind of piecemealed together at various points through the season, so I think that's been impressive. But just the letdown on defense, they've got to start up front and getting some help rushing the passer, and I think from there that's going to change things a lot.
Yeah, you mentioned that offensive line. And Frank Ragnow was not in this game at all, and the Lions have also rotated along the offensive line, so that inconsistency along the offensive line definitely showed today.
But I'm going to say this. Matt Patricia now looks like a genius for rotating guys in and getting everybody time, because had they not done that, they may not be at least as sound as they have been through these last few games with the injury to Ragnow and at times when Glasgow and other guys have been out.
Well, Driscoll, Scarborough, the offensive coordinator, things to be thankful for the Lions as they head into Thanksgiving week on a very tough loss. There were a few other highlights the Lions can be thankful for. We'll show you a little clip of those right here.
We're down at 8. Redskins must get to the Detroit 46. Haskins hit as he worked to get rid of the football. It's recovered by Tavon Wilson. No whistle on the field, so it's ruled a fumble. And Wilson returns it inside the Redskins' 40-yard line. Second down and 8. As Driscoll throws, and down the sideline, it is Kenny Golladay. And he's finally tackled at the 11-yard line. Driscoll throws, end zone, touchdown, Logan Thomas. Redskins must get to the 31. Haskins under pressure in this game so far. Saw Kevin O'Connell calling in the play. Haskins on 3rd down. Harmon in a fight for the football, and it is picked off. As the Redskins defeat the Lions 19-16, their first home victory since last October 21st against the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to stay home and sing, but you don't have a good excuse?
Gonna come by?
I would, but I've got laryngitis. Laryngitis. My cat might die. I would, but I totally don't want to.
Get the #1 live TV streaming service for less at sling.com.
Okay, all right. So obviously, tough game for us right there. Didn't make enough plays to win, and give Washington credit. They finished the game off and won. So for us, obviously a short week. We got to kind of go back to work here. It's kind of Wednesday in our world, so we're already behind trying to get ready for Thursday. But certainly there's some things in here we got to take a look at and we got to clean up. That cost us the game, and really in a situation where they were able to make plays and we weren't. So. It's really not a lot to say other than that. I mean, we know what the mistakes are. We all saw them out there, and we got to do a better job of coaching it, and we got to do a better job of executing it on the field. So, for us, that's kind of where we're at. What we got?
The guy like Darius Slade, who you count on to be that top cover guy week in and week out. How surprised are you with some of his struggles, not just in this game, but through the season?
You know, I mean, I think it's a team game. I think everybody's out there trying to do everything they can. Slay certainly, he works really hard. He's given us everything he can too, and we got to have a better complementary play. You know, it's got to be everybody working together. So he makes a lot of plays for us. He does a lot of great things for us, and certainly from that aspect of it, you know, he takes a lot of tough duty on and goes every single week and tries to do the best he can with it. So that aspect of it, we just all got to do better. You know, again, like I've said before, I have a lot of different roles on game day, and certainly from that standpoint, I'm very active in, you know, the communication from all the phases of the game, all 3 phases, and so there's going to be plays out there that, you know, that I can call. There's going to be plays out there Coach P's calling. There's going to be plays out there that certainly are just kind of automatic calls for us.
But not the preponderance of the plays today. I mean, like you had to play sheet, covering your mouth when you're talking to whoever. Paul wasn't talking to the microphone much. You know,
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, like I try to remember to cover my mouth as much as possible when I talk, because I knew those cameras from that standpoint. I have actually 4 different lines that I'm clicked into, so from that aspect of it, there's a lot of people that I'm talking to from that standpoint. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that stuff. It doesn't, again, like I'm not really going to get into the details of all that stuff. It changes week by week.
The 3 turnovers, obviously that's got to be pretty disappointing. He's been pretty good about taking care of the football most of the ones he got. It was disappointing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you know, I think turnovers in general, no one's excited about those. No one's happy about that stuff. So we got to do a good job with the ball from that standpoint. But even if we're, you know, running the ball, we can't have it stripped out either. And look, when those plays happen, you know, we got to go out on the other side of the ball and we got to try to get it back too. We just can't give opponents extra possessions from that standpoint. Just really, it makes the game really hard.
Your coverage units have been so good this year. I don't know if you got a chance to look at the breakdown at the half, but do you have any sense of what went wrong on that particular kickoff return?
On the one they scored on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the pictures for us, we just we didn't execute our lanes well enough on that. It looks like when he kind of bobbled the catch, we maybe got out a little bit, you know, distorted there a little bit with our coverage. And he's a dynamic returner. He kind of set some guys up and then was able to kind of dip in and dip back out. But I think the initial kind of juggling of the catch there to start kind of threw our guys off a little bit.
How much does the cohesion on those units change up when you are switching up between Sam and Matt?
Yeah. I think from a kick standpoint, that's not really, you know, the kicks are the kicks, I think, but there are some coverage change-ups in there, some guys that rotate in and out or have rotated in and out or did this week too, so that's always something that you're concerned about. It's a defensive play, so, you know, again, with defense, the more consistent you can be with those guys out there, the better.
Is there anything in particular you see just not being able to get late stops defensively, or late stops, not this team in particular, and then late in the clutches for some reason can't go to them? Anything you see in particular?
I mean, you know, again, give them credit for making some plays in those situations where, you know, they made plays today. I think we obviously, you know, go back and take a look at it and see, you know, there's different things we could have done. Certainly the execution, and obviously there's going to be things out there that wish we had put them in different situations to try to help them out from that standpoint too. So, but right now, just give Washington credit for being able to make some plays.
This might be a basic question, but how do you explain what's happening this season? You know, all of a sudden, where do they all belong?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think we can get into all that kind of summary on all that stuff right now. I mean, we're 30 seconds out of coming off the field for this game, and we'll go back and take a look at that and see what this game is. And you know, we definitely know that there's some things that we talked about earlier in the week, you know, as we kind of mentioned that are just, you know, giving us issues that we got to really, within each game, we got to eliminate because they're causing us a lot of issues and really putting us off track and making it really difficult from that standpoint. And those are the things that we got to really we got to eliminate.
There are going to be a lot of questions about your job security this week going forward. How do you answer those? Do you still feel like the team is fighting for you?
I definitely think the team's fighting. I think we're working really hard. I think everybody's out there playing very hard. I think you see that, you know, even through the different lineup changes that we've had and the different guys that we had out in the field, whether it's injuries or whatever it may be. I think everybody that goes out there goes out and tries to compete at a really high level and steps up and is trying to do their job. Certainly, we obviously got to do it better from that standpoint to try to, you know, turn the tables here on the win-loss. And for us, we know we're in a lot of close games, and you know we're real close on all these things. And I think everybody's going to have the same sort of, you know, frustration of not being able to close them out or finish it or whatever it is. But you know, the good thing for the group is that they really do work hard and they kind of go back at it. So we got a short week. We don't got a lot of time to worry about a lot of things here other than getting the mistakes fixed and then trying to get ready for the Bears. So it's a little bit unique in that situation for us this week.
With Melvin out, you turned to Oruwariye. I know he didn't have a whole lot of work. I don't know what you could say about his performance without seeing the film, but what went, I guess, to the decision to give him that start?
You know, I think we were close with him before he kind of got, you know, off track, maybe with a little bit of an injury, and kind of we didn't have him for a while, and just slowly been building back into some of the package that we were doing. Had confidence with him this week that, you know, he felt good about his assignment in those situations, and he's really, you know, a lot of those guys, Mike Ford and Imani, those guys are ready to go based on what happens during the game. So wound up being a situation real late in the week where we had to make a switch, and because of Rashawn, and I just felt he was prepared.
You mentioned you've been taking a look back at how you're coaching some of these things that keep popping up. I mean, do you have a sense for how to fix these issues that you've had time and again, or is it just messages? I mean, what's
yeah. You know, I think some of it too, again, like even just with the, you know, we spent a lot of time here with some of the penalty stuff, you know, and just really understanding in certain situations if we're almost, you know, got to know when that particular play is over and we can't, you know, get that extra pull or that extra push or that extra grab or whatever it might be, and just understanding that there's going to be times where, you know, we can't do those things and cost us bigger plays, you know, from that situation. So just trying to keep emphasizing those points, you know, from those things, and coaching the techniques so that we don't get in a situation where we're, you know, called for penalties. And certainly the ones that happen before the snap, those are the ones that, you know, hurt you the most. You know, those are the ones that are got to be better.
You mentioned last year about how you just weren't used to losing. It's something that's completely foreign to you. I imagine that never wears off.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, when you do lose 7 or 8 in a row, how are you taking this personally? What's the level of frustration?
I mean, I think for me, you know, I absolutely hate losing. I'm a super competitive person. Can't stand it. Gets me, and then like everybody, like all of us, you have to turn it around and just get ready for the next one. So you can't really stay in that mode too long. You just got to keep working harder, try to get better, and you know, try to fix it. So for us, especially this week, there's not a lot of time to you know, to stay in this mode. We're gonna have to flip the page here real quick and try to get ready for the Bears.
How about the Scarborough fumble? Do you think his momentum is in progress or stopped?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear any whistle on the play, so, you know, I mean, just obviously I saw the ball come out at that point. It was a pile up, so, you know, that's kind of all I saw.
Last question. Coach, can you talk about what Scarborough meant to the team since you moved them up? Like you talked about his development.
Yeah, you know, I think he's done a great job with his opportunity. You know, I think he's learning the offense. I think he's running hard. I think he gives us an element of toughness downhill from that standpoint. It means a lot to him. He cares, and you know, it's important. So from that aspect of it, he's trying to do everything he can to help us, and he's trying to get better. And so I appreciate that as a coach. You know, someone that goes out and he works really hard. So from that aspect of it, you know, really good. Got to try to eliminate some of the mistakes and go forward from there. But he's definitely from that aspect of it, trying to do everything we're asking. Okay. All right, appreciate it.
Quarterback next, guys. Thank you.
Would you rather sling in or go to a party? For Pepper, the dog. Who's ready to party? Perfect. Oh no, rabies outbreak. Better get home right away. Rabies? Oh, slang. My man Leroy, top-notch acting.
Nothing beats the joy of slinging in. You could save hundreds a year versus cable with America's #1 live TV streaming service. Learn more at sling.com.
Jeff, can you walk through sort of the frustration level of those interceptions there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to put your team in a position to win. I thought, you know, all day the defense did a great job of giving us the ball back all day, holding them to field goals. And we had a chance to go down there and win the game. And, you know, just got to take care of the ball. You know, that's what it comes down to. You know, going through your reads, throwing it to the open guy, and taking care of the football. That's first and foremost the quarterback's job, and I didn't do that today.
Can you put your finger on what has gone wrong with this team?
I mean, you know, we had a bunch of penalties, or we had some penalties again today. We've talked about cleaning those up. Didn't get that done. Turned the ball over 4 times. You know, it's hard to win in this league doing that. And it just comes down to not making the plays at the end of the game. And that's kind of been a common thing over these last few weeks. And, you know, you just got to find a way to make them. At the end of the day, you know, we have the confidence that we're going to go make them. And we just didn't do it. You know what I mean? And it is frustrating when you're in position to go win football games and you come up short.
Is that confidence waning at all? I mean, this is now 4 in a row, 7 of 8, losing close games, etc.
No. You know, I mean, I think I think we have the guys in that locker room that, you know, go to work each and every week. We work hard throughout the week. We take accountability for our mistakes, and we move forward. And like I said, we didn't make enough plays. You know, and I'm sure everybody out there can say that. And for myself, you know, didn't make enough plays and turned the ball over. And you know, it really is frustrating, and it's you know, you got to go in that locker room and take accountability, and that's what I'll do. You know, those are on me.
On that one interception, the one that set up the go-ahead field goal, did you see what you saw there, and just take us through that play a little bit if you could?
Yeah, you know, we had a good play on for the look. Dunbar did a great job of, you know, kind of anticipating the route a little bit, and we knew that going into the week that, you know, he had a good feel for route concepts and things like that, and I just got to get my eyes out in front. Can't just, you know, assume that it's going to be there because it's a certain look. And he made a good play, but it comes down to just taking care of the football, and I just threw it right to him.
Anything else, guys? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, you heard from head coach Matt Patricia as well as quarterback Jeff Driscoll. I thought Jeff Driscoll summed it up perfectly when asked about the issues in this game. He said it was penalties, turnovers, and not being able to make the play at the end of the game. If the Lions want to win games, they're going to have to be able to do that. Guys, that is it for us from here in Landover, Maryland. We appreciate you joining us for Lions Postgame Live presented by Sling TV. As a thank you from Sling TV, they have offered you 40% off of your first month of Sling if you go to sling.com/Lions. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Thanksgiving Day.
Want to stay home and sling, but you don't have a good excuse?
Gonna come by?
I would, but I've got laryngitis. I mean laryngitis. My cat might die. I would, but I totally don't want to.
Get the #1 live TV streaming service for less at sling.com.